Alrighty guys, so I found two sulky tires just to see what I think about this, and I kind of think this is ending up more massive than what I wanted. Kind of envisioning like a small portable cart, which not that this is really large, but you know what I'm getting at. But anyhow, I'm already at the top of the cart. I am about 11.5 inches, about 10.5 there. So it's actually come back to me in here. Basically, I'm saying it's not level. There's 10.5. Close enough for government work. We'll let it go in for right now. But my goal was basically on flat ground. I wanted about roughly 12.25 inches from the center of the shaft. So as of right now, I'm at like 10.5, 10.75 to the top of this frame. Which actually, it might end up about right. By the time you put that on there, yeah, because by the time you put that on there about center to 12, it'd be about right. Like a 10.5 there. Yeah, about 10.5 there. It's not exactly level, but it's close. This is mock-up. So, what do you guys think about that? Kind of a little bit strange looking, I feel, but I do kind of like it. The only thing I don't like is the sulky wheels are about as big as the darn cart. Huh. So if I ponder this over for a while, because I could drop it down a hair if I need to. Because probably the easiest bet is I'm pretty sure this is 5/8 axles on the sulkies. Let me get my. Okay, there we go. Whoop. Now my calipers aren't going to be zeroed. I dropped them. Okay. We'll go over here to. You guys will laugh, but fractionality. Just want to see. It says about 93/28. 23/32. Interesting. A little bit bigger than 11/16 is what that's saying. Okay. So, looks like probably about 11/16 axle material is what we're talking about there. Set these down before I break them. Sorry guys, you guys are on the tripod yet. That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna need. Like I said, just need to get the pillow blocks to mount that shaft, and then I can see exactly, because that might space it up. You know, that much is where the pillow block will sit. Probably about that high, and then the middle will be the shaft, is what I'm thinking. So if I have to drop it down, I can always add another piece of tubing underneath of it and get that to work. Okay guys, got my bearings in the mail, and believe it or not, the bolts actually fit in them. Go figure. It was a whole, the shipping and everything would have been $17 for them, but because Steve had enough cash back on his Discover card, Steve got them for free. Gotta love that. And hopefully tomorrow after work, I'll start walking this thing up a little bit more, and we'll see where that takes us. I also got a bar for the sulky wheels here. It's 3/4, so hopefully that all works out. We'll see where we end up there. And got the starter, and this needs to go back on the 12G, but that's a story for another day. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. And I bought some extensions, wobble extensions. See which one I need. Whatever one I weld on there, I will use the rest later as actual tools. So, till the next segment, guys. Later. Okay, guys, I went ahead and I drilled and tapped 2 3/8 holes over here for this pillow block, and I believe I've selected the length of bolts I want. It'll work out okay, and the way the starter goes down and mounts, it hangs out very minimal out the front. The nice thing is with these pillow blocks, I can always fine tune it. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna tack this piece in right here. Obviously I gotta square it up yet and everything, but I'm gonna tack that in. I can drill some holes, and then I can really start looking at stuff and seeing how it's gonna work. Then we'll move on to cutting some axle material from back there and tacking that on, and see how that works, and making some legs for in the front, and we'll go from there. So here we go. I did some welding. This is one of the better welds, so I'll show you that. I got some ones like this that were ugly. And that. And those, a lot of those had a bunch of big tacks on it, but like these ones, like I had not welded before, they're not too bad. So I'll let this cool down before I end up burning the shit out of myself. So I got them holes tapped, and they're drilled and tapped. Those ones. So I'll get some bolts and mount that on. Then I think at that point we're ready. We'll mount the wheels, see how high this is going to sit, and then we can build a stand on the front, or even just Afro engineer something for the moment, and then see what we can do to mount the starter. So after dinner I'll be back in 3, 2. Okay guys, here's a real rough setup of the electric start cart. And I said I wanted about 12 inches to the center. Right now I got about 11 and a half. Hold on, about 11 and a quarter center is what I got there. This side a little bit less. So now I got two choices. I can either put some spacers underneath the axle and put the whole thing up about, if I come up another ½ inch, I'd be okay with that if it was 12 centered. So how much is, where did I stick that thing? A square tube? Right there. Never actually did measure this tubing. I guess I know what I'm working with. Looks like it's inch 1x2 square is what I'm working with here. So that if I put one of those in underneath there, that would space it up an inch. I'm at 11 1/4. That would put me at 12 1/4, which is exactly where I want to be. Now, do I like where the wheels are at? Why does it seem like this one side is so much further back? I really don't want to move it too much because I got it precariously blocked there, but because what I want to do is put like little, I want to put like adjustable feet on the front or something. So that way you could adjust it on the fly if you wanted to. You know, if you got a tractor that's pitched way down or pitched way up with like gear reduction wheels and a low front attachment, or vice versa, because not all attachments sit level. So that's something to keep in mind. I do, like I said, I do kind of like that. The only other thing I could do, I think if I add blocks up here, I think you're going to notice that too much. You know, it's just going to stick out like a sore thumb, in my opinion. Because the other thing, and what I'm thinking right now, is I'm going to get I may even just put some mesh in on this side here for a battery, is what I'm thinking. And go right on top of the axle, because I got 12 inches to the outside, so a 10-inch long battery would fit. So hopefully I get a fairly decent sized car battery in there, is the theory. In reality, had I thought about it, I could have actually made that a little bit shorter in. But I wanted to be able to move this if I ever want to change it or decide I don't like it. So that's where I'm at right now. And probably I can't really set anything up in the front until I figure out what I'm gonna do. Probably the best thing I could do is I get a piece of all thread for right now on a pair of vice grips, and I could put a leg on the front just to hold it, and then I can level everything and see what I think there. I like that idea. I'm going to do that, and I'll come back and see what I'm thinking then. Okay guys, here's what I come up with. Everything kind of mounted, and like I said, this is literally, I wasn't even touching it and it fell off. It's a real rough mock-up here. Obviously I had everything clamped together, but I think this is all going to work out, because there's definitely going to be enough room here for a fair size battery, which that's what I wanted. Because if you put a small, a lawn tractor battery would work in this, you know, don't get me wrong, like what's in the 408 and everything. But a bigger, more like a car style battery, like what's in the Riders, would definitely be better off. And the other thing I was thinking about going real fancy is I was debating about trying one of them solar chargers on this, because it's going to be at tractor shows and stuff. So if you leave it out in the sun and you don't use it for a couple hours or something, it'll maybe not charge the battery back up the whole way, but it'll charge it back up some. So that's a theory and a thought I got. But for right now, I think that's going to be it for tonight, unless I get real froggy here and start trying to figure out how to actually mount the starter so it's even, or so it's parallel with the sprocket. I do got a little bit of wiggle room. I can wiggle the sprocket back and forth if I need to. These pillow blocks actually have set screws in them. Hopefully you guys can see that there. I think you guys can see it. That was one of the reasons I bought these pillow blocks, because I didn't need to have separate locks with Allens in them. And these were actually, I think I talked about it, I think these were like $17 for both of them off Amazon. And Steve had enough cash back, so he got them for free. So, that is that. And I think that's, like I said, where I'm going to leave it for part 2 here, or it may even be part 3 by now, who knows. So, thanks for watching Electric Start Project. We'll see everybody later. Here's my other idea. So, later, guys.